Does resin injection cure subsidence? The answer is sometimes, often not. And in some situations, it can be completely the wrong solution. The difficulty is that subsidence is not a single problem. It's simply a description of movement. Whether resin injection works depends entirely on why the building is moving. What resin injection does is it involves drilling holes through floors or around foundations and pumping expanding resin into the ground. As the resin expands, it can fill voids, compact loose soils, increase the bearing capacity of some ground, lift slightly sunken slabs and floors in the right circumstances. So it can sometimes be quite effective. For example, if a conservatory floor has settled because poorly compacted fill beneath it has compressed, resin injection may provide a quick and relatively non-disruptive repair. Where things become more complicated is that many houses suffer movement because of things like clay shrinkage caused by trees, seasonal moisture changes, leaking drains, soft or compressible soils, inadequate foundations, mining or ground stability. Resin cannot magically remove these causes. If a large oak tree is trying out shrinkable clay beneath a house, injecting resin into the soil does not stop the clay shrinking next summer. Likewise, if a leaking drain is washing fine material out of the ground, the drain still needs repairing. Whenever somebody proposes resin injection, I would want to know what exactly is causing the movement. If nobody has properly established the cause, discussing repair methods is putting the cart before the horse. As a builder, one thing that always concerned me about some subsidence claims was how quickly people jumped to discussing repairs before fully understanding the mechanism that caused the movement. So does it replace underpinning? Sometimes companies market resin injection as an alternative to underpinning. That can be true in certain situations. Traditional underpinning physically transfers loads to deeper or stronger ground. Resin injection generally improves the ground that is already there. Now, those are two very different approaches. If foundations are genuinely inadequate or the ground problem extends several meters deep, underpinning may still be the more appropriate engineering solution. Now, what do insurers think? Many insurers and loss adjusters now accept resin injection on suitable cases. It's no longer viewed as a sort of experimental technique. However, acceptance by insurers does not mean it is suitable for every property. Engineers still need to assess the specific circumstances. If I was asked about resin injection for my house, I would want to know, what is the proven cause of the movement? Has the movement stopped or is it ongoing? What site investigation has been carried out? How deep is the affected ground? Why is resin preferable to other solutions? What evidence shows the proposed treatment will address the actual cause? A good engineer or contractor should be able to answer these clearly. Now, my view is that resin injection is neither a miracle cure nor a scam. It is simply another engineering tool. Used in the right place, it can save a great deal of disruption and expense. Used in the wrong place, it may only treat the symptom rather than the cause. The real question is not Does resin injection cure subsidence? It is, has the true cause of the movement been correctly identified, and is resin injection the most appropriate solution for that specific problem? That is where the success or failure of any subsidence repair usually begins. Thank you for watching.